might not say my age, but when you look at me, I'm not young. And the first part of my intervention, I was already talking about at 60, what a normal human being should be doing, counting stories to his own grandchildren. My own children, maybe very soon they will start getting married. So it's about 8 generations that have been frustrated, hearing the same story. Then the following day, I went on the field to rather see whether these young people actually grip the message that Mr. Biya sent to them the previous night. And what did I see? I discovered that truly there is a quota of people that no matter how you do, they will be prey. You know, Cameroonians are people who believe. Even when there's nothing to believe on, they will look for something and attach themselves on. Like, it seems as if faith is something that they have sold to Cameroonians.
And which is not bad. To be faithful, to expect, to be, to always expect that one day miracles will happen.
And it is from that background that the Biya ruling regime has overdue and has no plans to give up. Because they know Cameroonians are dreaming and looking for something to believe. Now, there were some little remarks, aside the one that you mentioned at the introductory part of your presentation. The authority themselves, they appeared in regalia that were respectful. The schools, you know, we are celebrating this 60th anniversary within the Anglophone crisis in the Northwest and the Southwest. We cannot undermine the repercussion that some calls on ghost town can have on a day like this. But the people who make this call on yearly basis will have already known that government have looked for other strategies. There is like the police school in Mutengene, the survey school at a checkpoint, where they always gather students to come and fill the marching ground. So if these people had this information, because the intention sometimes is to render
when you say they gather,
let me complete, let me not get lost.
Cameroonians?
Let me not get lost in my analysis. Those who call for ghost town, if they will have known that government have looked for other measures to make the marching ground popular, flooded with people, I think they would have thought otherwise than frustrating themselves years over the. So, as for government measure, they have a public investment budget that they are defending. So everything that is transpiring there, the food that they will gather after and eat, the little per diem that they are paying people to march under political parties and others, all those things are inscribed under the public investment budget. So nothing is created there. The local administrative authorities are trying to defend a budget. Then the true victims now are the people. Because that this day, Mr. Moderator, is supposed to be a day of recognition to the effort of young people who stood for the country to be up. Because when you hear that people plebiscited for both the Anglophone faction and the Francophone faction to be together, youth were at the forefront of this action. We are commemorating this youth action. The fact that they stood tall at a point where those who were leading could not on themselves decide whether we should come together or not. Young people stood. Over the years, young people have manned offices in this country that have delivered tremendous results, including Mr. Biya himself, who came to office at 27.
Okay, now let us focus on this youth day as I'm talking about. You first of all said they'll go and take maybe school children, police students. But the question now is, are they not Cameroonians? Because normally it is expected that on a day like this, all the youths should come out, youth groups. Even if you are in what school, the police school, if you are youth, you should participate on that day, wherever you are. I don't know your take about
For those who have lived in Boya between 2005 and 2025, that's a space of about 20 years. Understand that there is between the way the march pass has been passing since after 2017 and before 2017. That's just the measure I wanted to bring out. That before 2017, it was automatic. Like, people knew that just like during the Mount Cameroon Race of Hope, that they will leave their house, come and start at the grandstand with their children, so that they live that euphoria.
But we thank God things are coming back to normal.
You get it. I don't know why you are rushing. Okay. So that is what we used to obtain. It's something that's supposed to be natural, automatic. And before that day, you have a trade fair. The whole of Moliko environment, student environment, was trade fair.
Yeah.
That culture is coming back, because
yes,
if you
one
go,
is ongoing.
yes, if you go, that culture, it's a culture that has been there.
Okay.
But since one short memory, we might think that is just happening overnight. No. So they have to build into the people culture to prepare them to that day. The celebration have to be, because we are commemorating braveness.
So you are thinking that it should be a week
I'm building hope.
Activities. Okay.
I'm building hope.
Okay.
But after 2017, when the people of the Northwest and the Southwest said that we are no more comfortable in this union, now the solution were not granted, but the time now, they have used the time to window dress.
Okay, I'll come back to when you say the Northwesterners are resting, decided that they are not comfortable in the union. I don't know if it's should we say few people or okay. I'll come back to you. Let me also bring. We are looking at the and maybe you watched it or you were present, and let me first of all have maybe an overview of what took place before we get into the program.
Well, Mr. Williams, Youth Day, it is part of our civil responsibility. In this context, it is very normal, right from when it was voted and acted into law, that on these days youth has to come out and demonstrate their youthful eager attitude to move the nation forward. Now, before that, it is very normal that the president usually have his traditional speech that he dashed out to the youth, giving a hope as Cameroonians, encouraging them that better days lies ahead for a better Cameroon.
Okay.
But I begin to wonder,
yes,
because do I say over the years they have been playing the old music Cameroonians, just like it's not well on this panel, not to discuss age, but from when I was a youth, these speeches come up, they build our hopes. Up to now, I'm aging that I've never benefited from any of this so designed, well-written speech. No, we are supposed to when we are in a
not say
active
yes
society where the youth have to be at the front of what is happening, the economic sector, the engineering sector, the IT sector. No, we are the one to move the country forward.
But you just said you've not benefited on this.
Let me come,
Mr. William. Maybe the youth
moving the country forward.
Yes, but you are an engineer.
Yeah,
and you benefited maybe on the educational progress of this country before becoming an engineer.
Okay.
Is that not benefiting from the education?
No, that was education. I need to contribute to the growth of my country.
And you are doing so.
Now, let me, Mr. Williams, I have the mic. May I continue?
Yes.
And when you look at, for us, I did not follow the speech because I knew I was going to read on social media. I take you to page 5 of the presidential speech, paragraph 2. It said that the state alone and the private sector cannot employ all.
Yes.
So giving the youth that, telling the youth that They have to be entrepreneurial. They have to move forward. But now, how do you have in a country where a fellow lawyer, barrister, is writing a report that 150 magistrates have not gone on retirement for over 5 years, 3 years? That's a huge vacuum of space. You are depriving the youth. So if the country is not working, we should be able to come on the platform and say it's not working. It may have worked in other areas, yes. But at this present dispensation, where the youth are so full of energy and then you are depriving them from work, Mr. William, if I tell you that the only alternative of children in this country is to leave the country. May I remind you that
there are so many.
May I remind you that as it stands now, just Canada alone that surfaces on the limelight has 11 millions of Cameroonians. I don't talk about Europe.
Yes.
Okay, let's come back to UD. You know, the president have a lot of presidential pardons that usually grants on to political prisoners and stuff like that. Now, at 60 is a jubilee. What he talked about, him re-elected, his re-election into action, into his office, into his high office, is based majority on the youth.
Okay.
And yes, other youth also, it is their civil responsibility to disagree with the ruling party. And in the course of demonstrating publicly, some of them were arrested. We know that all arrests, let me learn, not all arrests are not duly. No, all arrests are not duly. What caused Mr. Bia not to give amnesty to some children who are in prisons? Because he said, youth day. Let me know you the word children. Some youth say, okay, I'm releasing Southwest 250, Northwest, Littoral, North, Far North. You know that that's the father of the nation.
But he has been releasing. He has been.
I'm talking on Youth Day.
He just released
recently. After the October polls, the youth were arrested. So it was but normal that he do something for the youth on the Youth Day. The other ones come later. Maybe it's political alliance. Maybe it's other stuff like that. But we are talking about youth.
Okay. Now let me come. During the Youth Day, we saw. Let me begin with this aspect that people have different views. We saw how young people were so determined to say we must celebrate despite the downpour on that day. You saw how youths marched for more than 2 hours in the rain. Don't you see that these youths are becoming very conscious of their responsibility, of their civic responsibility, and knowing that they have no other country than this country?
Yes, it is very normal. But Williams, when I look at you with your gray beard, it tells me that you are not a youth. And if you have once read Wilfred the Best book, which is Student Companion, it tells you about the war between the youth and the age.
Okay.
Yes. And by no means can you tell me that the youth were exorbitant under the rain. Because, yes, it is very normal that they go out on a level, but I did it. Everyone did it.
Yes.
But when it comes to this stage, that even the youth are suffering, some are getting short breath, they are not being rushed to the hospital. The Youth Day starts from 12 midnight to another 12 midnight. It doesn't end at 2, it doesn't end at 3, it doesn't end at 4.
Okay.
The rain was not, to my opinion, the rain was not supposed to be the whole day. I believe that for the safety of these youth, we clamor and have hope for them. We were supposed to at least look for a major alternative. People who were on that grandstand were all parents. And to be sincere with you, most of them did not smile at the situation. But behold, some people were passing a message to Yaoundé for their selfish gains. And to continue by that, saying that some of the nitty-gritties, some of the spices, that spice of this day, just like Siri was saying, we don't bring them. It is, I want to say that it is on some authorities to bring these things on the eve of the national, of the Youth Day.
Okay.
But just like the socio-political crisis we are facing, they don't do these activities anymore. Maybe with time the activities are returning, like my co-panelist state, which I don't want to contradict him. Now, but now the rains are up in that heavy tone. It rained cats and dogs yesterday, if I should remind you. So you cannot put a child under the rain for donkey of hours. It rained for close to 3 hours, and children are all down there under the rain because they are proving their social responsibility. What if they would have said that, okay, the council buildings around, some students go here, a nap is there, some students go here, after 3 hours, you regroup them, okay, and they march. The activities, their social responsibility has still been carried out, and it doesn't stop. So you don't, now we are into 10 years of the Anglophone, crisis. The West Cameroonian crisis. Some people have drifted to the Ambazonian crisis. Some people say the Anglophone crisis. Some people say English-speaking Cameroonian crisis. We are into 10 years of this crisis. Those who are affected, even when it comes to the military, are youth. When it comes to the Nchangshu boys, are youth. Now, the parents of these two regions have suffered drastically. Now, after the parents have evaluated maybe the Ambazonia shutdown, take his child up there to perform his civil responsibility, and he's now in the hospital to pay hospital bills. We're expecting that our government, our Sarwe government, to map it out, will have said that in this situation, all the children who had medical attention yesterday, this is a bill that will cover that.
Yeah, I think we expect that they'll do that because they have been responding in so many cases like that. And maybe we shall be expecting that. Let me come to Siri at this time. It is very clear, if you look at the population that came out, it is very clear, as you said, things are coming to normal. Is it not high time we talk more on this, we look at this theme that was given, that youth are the heart of great hopes for a united, stable, and prosperous Cameroon. Now, the president said he has given the youth that this country is in their hands, and they demonstrated it yesterday to the fullest. The population that came out, especially in Boya and the environs, is a proof that the youth have decided to take this country to their hands.
You know, people only take interest to stating in this country these days based on economic interest. Anybody you saw at the grandstand had two objectives, okay, especially for those who are above 25. Either somebody somewhere have promised them a 2,000, 5,000 francs for matching, including the journalists. I'm not insulting anybody. I'm just trying to tell you how Cameroonians are thinking these days. Or there was a buffet to take place at Mountain Hotel, another one at the council or Soviet school. That is what was in the mind of those who were, you call they were flooded, but it doesn't compare to the number it used to be. To tell you that commemorating a day does not require economic or intestine benefits.
But don't you?
It has to do with patriotism.
Yeah.
And the question you're asking has to do with patriotism.
Yes.
Before you say, I said that everything has come back to normal. Since the last program I attended, I've been telling you that the window dressing solution or monologue they did in Yaoundé is not working on the Anglophones. What we are doing here, we have learned to live with stitches. So anybody now know when to cover the wound and when to open. That's just what is happening. So what happened yesterday, where the official had to abandon children under poor weather conditions, is a symptom of why the Anglophone are complaining. Even just by culture, you should know that you cannot allow your children under rain. I mean, just by like reflex. But if it's normal to a governor or to administrative, because I did not see any. Now, I don't want to hear anybody who was in that grandstand make as if it's not part of what happened, because you had the possibility to get up and say that you are against this march pass. So you sat there taking your picture just to go and write in WhatsApp group that you were not okay. No, please, we have to stop this kind of rigmarole. Let's assume our responsibility. I would have preferred that the news should report that there was somebody on the grandstand who was so uncomfortable and had to obstruct the march pass. Yes, that is in prison now. Let me see how the whole town will not mobilize to go and free him. But people of interest sat there calculating their different interests, and at the end of the day saw somebody who is their scapegoat, the governor. No, it's too easy to say that as a crisis is going on, they are equally diverting and distracting bona fide Anglophone from their own very culture that they claim to be fighting. So many people have drifted so far away, and they are distracted into some kind of luxurious things that are visible only to the eye, nothing with the spirit. What happened yesterday, Mr. Moderator, we shouldn't wave over it. We should take this opportunity again and give the possibility that were available for the authority that be. They could have suspended for some time. Nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. Because the rain had the possibility. If it was falling more than the intensity that permitted those students to be passing, they would have halted the process. And it will not shock anybody around the world that rain have halted. Is it one thing, one or two things that rain have imposed itself? So please, then the Bakwere traditional rulers that were there who would have heard sometime that they used to burn rain. What happened yesterday? Are there complices? Because if they have burned rain during some edition of the mountain race,
yes,
we were expecting that yesterday they should not allow their children.
But could it have been that spontaneous?
I don't know how they do it, but they knew that that day was a big day and that they should not disgrace the authority. Because they also have, I'm telling you that this thing has a commission. It has commission and budget. Millions. We are not talking about chicken change here. Everybody will have played his role. I'm bringing the mystical part because we are in an African culture and it has been said time and again that they are good at catching the rain and blocking and burning. So those practices, that was a perfect environment for them to exhibit it so that we continue to honor them. Besides that, the parents themselves who are treating this issue as a light issue is not inviting more chaos or more maltreatment to them themselves and their offspring. Every human being, talk less of citizen of a country, deserve to be respected, because all those activities taking place because of human beings. If humans are absent, it will not happen, and so the human health should be protected first. The governors and his collaborators are well seated, and the children themselves, they are excited to entertain them. Why? Because they are performing a duty that tomorrow they want to be proud of. How many of them will be proud that during this day it rained cat and dog on me and I ended my journey but in the hospital? He will only remember but those drips for the lucky ones. So and for the parent that this bill is going to come back to them. Because sometimes we even believe that if it happens like that and there are some sick cases, the government should take care of it. But I'm saying it's a big lie. For having participated at the Mount Cameroon, we felt at Hut 2. I had to carry a patient from Hut 2 to the foot of the mountain. We went to the hospital for 3 hours. They sat us there, pretending that they were taking care of us. At the end of the day, they were looking for a way to take money from us.
Okay, why we
are when we talk things like this and we are not living around it, you have to experience it to know that we are on your own in this country.
Okay, what do you make of the fact that there are some people, we are waiting for images and maybe interviews, there are some people who felt like, just like the military, who are giving their life to die for their country, these children were like, I love my country, even if I die for my country, that's patriotic.
If you interview these children, that is what come out. You have the impression that just the fact that the governor saw them is a life-making event. And we have to understand them. The age group, the amount of information they know about life.
Okay.
That is why parents are there. who are acting like guardians. Youth Day is meant for children.
But by the
Up
time
to
the
secondary school, even university is an abuse to be bashing them.
but by the time the rain started, we had bigger students who were marching and youth group, because it started when the secondary schools were marching and university and youth group, they were marching.
Had they free the secondary school? Don't forget that it's not just that passage that they go and whine beside the governor. No, it has to do with the little puff that they are eating by the roadside, and following and playing tabala. All those small, that is it's a whole event. So if you just take but that particular part, but now if they hear that because of rain there has been momentum, they have stopped the activities, and that is going to take up after. Yes. The communication line changed. That is what we are just saying, that the message that will have gone out will have been different. It will have shown they have concern about the people they are celebrating.
Okay, because before I come to you, Pope Bertrand, let's look at this statement. Youth are the heart of great hope for a united, stable, and prosperous Cameroon. And the president said that they should keep on hoping.
Of course, and that he has no intention to ever forget about them. Listen, we might blame Mr. Bia for so many things, but we will never blame him for her master political maneuver on Cameroonian. You see, he says that youth at the heart. So for him, we are on the country is developing. For him, things are moving forward.
He's telling the youth to be hopeful.
For him,
that resilience, you know.
He said we are at the heart.
Yeah.
That is, for him, it's an evidence that things are moving. No, let me surprise you tonight, Mr. President, or any of your collaborators who is watching. Nothing is moving forward. Nothing, absolutely nothing. Let's take little cases. Employment. Who is employed? Who is gainfully employed in this country who can earn more than 100,000? I know, I don't know. I know 500 people in my head.
I earn more than 100,000.
Yeah. Then I'm unable to pay transport to come to the studio. We should not be blowing I need transport to come to the studio.
Okay.
And Mr. Moderator, I ask you that have the major made provision for the transport? You say no. So why can you come here and be telling me that you have transport? If you have transport,
excuse me.
okay.
No, that's not what we are talking here.
Let's talk about employment.
Okay.
Mr. Moderator, we are talking in the university town. Boya is a university town.
Yes.
When you are fortunate to live in an environment like Moliko,
yes,
if you are not seeing misery, you will see it with your eye.
Okay.
Children are looking I mean, you see children like that, they are surviving. Prostitution everywhere. They are ready for 2,000, 1,000, they are ready to go. You steam your car like that, they are passing all their eyes on you, just waiting for you to make them they enter the car. All those things, they are signs of frustration.
Their friends are in the market doing small business.
How many of them have been prepared mentally? I'm telling you that the problem of Cameroon today is that we lack role model. Sometimes we are fighting the regime not because they are totally wrong, but what they present like model does not inspire young people. They are all into church activity, or better still into gambling. They are thinking about an imaginary Messiah who is going to come and help them. Where? Somebody finally should tell them that no Messiah is coming. No job is coming. He is talking about 22,000 jobs. Have you seen any of them? I'm not saying. Fako has how many factories? What are we transforming in Fako? The small citizen that was there, non-armed actors have come and scared farmer out of the farm.
Okay. I'll come back to you, Cyril. Let me come. Now, I want us to... The president is making the youth to understand that they should keep on hoping, because things are going to find, and they should be at the center of this hope for a united, stable, and prosperous Cameroon. In other words, if they should be hoping, they should be going to school, have their certificate, keep them, be working hard, and maybe make the Cameroon change the way they want.
You are very correct. You are very correct. That's what I take you concord the president. It may not be mad.
I'm not saying I'm explaining this is a thing.
That's the question.
And I'm explaining what it
is. Yes. Firstly, I want to really call my co-panelists that please, Mr. Siri, you will not insult my traditional rulers, my elites in front of me and in front of this panel.
No, he wasn't insulting anybody.
No,
He's just trying to
that's
call,
yes,
maybe
to
tell
call
them things
you know,
are happening. Yes,
yeah,
he's not
so
insulting
that's
anybody.
fine. Mr. Williams, hope is not a good word for a growing country.
You just say a growing country, which means we should be
For
hoping, and hope is not a bad
growing
word.
country,
Yes,
there's nothing like hope. We need results. We need results.
yes.
That's what contributes to the growth of a country. You cannot have a youthful population and you are telling them to have hope. Hope is believing in what you don't see.
Okay.
We want to see materialistic things happening every day.
Okay.
That is how we have hoped until power cam has been wiped off. We have hoped until railway stations have been wiped off. We keep hoping until we have dams that are not generating electricity. We keep hoping until we have people who have long due their retirement. We are hoping until we don't have light in quarters in Boya for donkey of months. We are hoping. And we keep hoping until our fathers have remained in offices where they cannot give us access. We keep hoping. We keep hoping that by December, University of Boya will graduate 5,000 students and they will join us. And we keep hoping that a miraculous job is coming somewhere. And that is where you see smart people, smart entrepreneurs have gone into the bigger scale of hope, opening churches, and they keep this young, energetic, youthful generation will have in one place. You see somebody, I'm not challenging Christianity, but Christianity in a foolish style is what is the challenge. You don't have the same Cameroon working hours is 8. A young lady, even somebody, an older person, leaves his house at 6, at 8 o'clock, goes to church, spend 2 hours, goes to work at 10 o'clock, close at 5. You have cheated the government in 2 hours. You have worked at 6 instead of 8. So we have this youthful energy. You see Cameroon. Let me just give you a statistics. Go back to Europe. Look for the best brains. They are Cameroonians in the diaspora, spread out. Yeah. Medical doctors, economics experts, biggest journalists, biggest soldiers. They are Cameroonians, and you have the queue of them going for passports. And now, may I use this word? You have a foolish government who grant the passport, thinking that no, let me learn.
Not foolish. What I'll ask them now, is it bad?
Now let me learn that
we have Europeans who are coming to Africa.
No. What are they coming to do?
No, but traveling is not a bad thing.
How many Cameroonians, even when this country was doing study, what do I call it?
Study leave or what?
Scholarships.
Yes.
How many of them have gone back and come back to be that country?
So many.
Okay, let's leave it at that.
Okay. So we are looking at this thing, except you have something else to say, that will go to the second topic.
No, what I wanted to say is concerning the chief and the young people and the event that is taking place is that it is Youth Day, and everybody who could put a contribution to make that day look history was welcome. As of now, the narrative we are having doesn't show that neither the chief nor the administrative authority nor the parent actually put the children as a center. Rather, they entertain themselves with the children. Just as when you see a young girl and tell her that you love her, you don't tell her that you want to have sex with her. When you see chicken or egg and say you like it, you don't say you want it to end its journey in your stomach. So we must make children feel like we are protecting them for something bigger, not as instrument to entertain us and we laugh, then we make a fun of it.
Okay, dear viewers, this is where we shall be going to the second topic. I'll call in the broadcaster that we need the contact number on air so that people could participate. We shall go to the second topic, which is we shall be cross-reading on the imminent postponements of the municipal and legislative elections in Cameroon. During his speech this 10th of February to the youths, the President of the Republic made it clear that due to other reasons, this election might be extended a bit. And so, but I want to begin with the politician in the House. Don't you think the president has given maybe more time for you people to prepare for this election?
I don't know whether journalists have had a general meeting to have this question to ask to politicians. Why must you see it that politicians are not ready for elections?
Okay.
But it's difficult to be a politician in Cameroon because it's one man holding the electoral calendar.
Mm.
And he changes it based on his whim and caprices.
The law gives him that.
Of course, the prerogative that the law gives him is 18 months. It was on the 25th of February 2025 that he had to we were supposed to have the twin election. He postponed it for 12 months that expire the 25th of February 2026. Now, on the 18 months that the law gives him, he has to convene 3 months before, so that the current councillors can resign before they reapply, because the law does not permit somebody who is in office to apply for another term of office.
Okay.
So you see the dynamics. So we still have up to May 2026 for Mr. Biya now to call another election. The allegation, excuse me to use that, that he sent out this time around is that it's because of treasury. And we are asking ourselves as politicians that when we see this scandal that is happening at the Douala seaport, money that is coming from there, they are reporting that just on daily basis, hundreds of billions come from there. If it was an issue of treasury, that is where they can levy money. The taxes that have been doubled at the beginning of this year, including taxes on moving cars, they are money that they can. Then, in the constitution of the document, all that money that is being made, this is not a presidential election that they will say that very few people are giving money. We are talking about general election, where thousands of local councillors have to pay 50,000 francs for their caution. For parliamentarian, it's 1 million francs caution. An election like the twin election, the budget cannot be more, it cannot even be up to 50 billion. It cannot. So, he should say about, he should quote other things. He should use other flimsy excuses, not treasury. But since we're in a country where...
When we talk of 50 billion, that's so much money.
We have, it's the budget of the presidency. They even increased it this year to 60 billion. I don't know if that is a house that on daily basis consume about if it's not on monthly basis, on daily basis consume about 5 billion. So I'm telling you that it's our priorities. They are doing all those things. Don't forget that we are coming from a post-electoral era, where the legitimacy of Mr. Biya and his ruling government is highly questionable. And from that perspective, the maneuver is what he has been using for 43 years, and he is one of the best around the world, buying time. And you see, with the Anglophone crisis, the principle of time buying has paid off. I've quoted example of cases that Anglophone are in the grandstand. Rain is watching their children. Nobody opted to raise a finger on objection. And after, we are looking for who to blame. That is how, when you mix yourself with the devil, at the end of the day, he colonizes you and you don't even know who you are. So, those excuses the President of the Republic is using is based on his tactics. I started somewhere around this program. I told you that is one of the greatest things we will always honor Mr. Biya for, because it's not easy, especially with Cameroonians, the wisest set of human beings I've met on earth. to rule them for this number of years, you have to call yourself Mr. Bia. And so the tactics is moving, it's working, because he uses the divide and rule principle. Now, those who boycotted election in 2020 seems to be those who so desire, those who aspire the more, those who went for election are also trying to protect their seats. And don't forget that before this, he made sure that he made regional election, he allocated budget for it. You will tell me that it's an indirect suffrage, but no problem. He organized the senatorial election, meaning that even if a new win of electorate of elected officers take office now, they will not influence his immediate policy, because he still have the regional council, he still have a hand over the senatorial, and he still have hand over the urban councils. So in May, everything held equal, the election will take place, because that is how far the law give him prerogative to extend. And when it happened then, between now and that May, some people who are aspiring go on social media and see the fighting that is happening between political parties of the opposition. It is helping to fragilize, to weaken them. And that is how some people at the end of the day will say, Master, if that is how you people are better go and vote CPDM. So that is the game. Using time to divide and keep holding.
Well, thank you, Bertrand. Looking at this topic, we are looking at the second topic, which we are talking of the imminent postponement of the municipal and legislative elections. Don't you see that the number of elections we've had in the recent times maybe has drained the budgets of the states, because we've had the presidential election that just passed, which is very expensive to sponsor, and we had the regional elections, also an election that's very heavy to sponsor, and we had the senatorial elections. So to have all these elections in a very short time, do you blame if these elections has to be postponed to make sure that resources are put together?
Well, the president of the state is still working a time frame bounded by the constitution of this country, the electoral code of this country, in I think Article 117 gives him extension limit to 18 months, and all political activists, analysts are very used to and know all this. Yes, taking into context the various elections that have happened during this short period of time, it is the normal that we are a democratic country. We respect the rules and regulations, the constitution of the state, and I don't think, except for the municipal and parliamentary that have been postponed so far, there are other elections that were not postponed. When you talk of the presidential election took place on the really scheduled date. The house of
regional house,
the regional house, I don't think it was postponed. Senatorial wasn't postponed. So we should also, for once, acknowledge our counterpart, our opposition party, the leading, because probably they defeated some of our parties during the past presidential election, and even up to senatorial election and other elections. But we still believe that the presidency has some time frame to work, and whatever happens, I know personally, in my personal conviction, that the municipal election will take place. They will announce it come May, and then the political jamboree there will be political tension in the country, which is just normal, which will be going to elect our new municipal councillors, municipal administrative heads, likewise,
What's your
member
take
of parliament.
about the rumor that's out there of some people think that the ruling party wants to re-strategize given what happened during the presidential election, where they never expected. And if we look at it since the inception of election during the Bia regime, the CPDM has never gone down like this year. So some people feel that they want to have much time to re-strategize to make sure that they take over.
I like the second one. You said some people think that the CPDM needs some more time. Yes, I don't sit down on the studio and analyze rumors.
No, you're an analyst. You can forecast.
No.
As an analyst, you can forecast.
So,
because rumors, in most cases, rumors have proven that, okay, that is something that has to happen or it comes to pass.
Thank you, Mr.
But so,
William.
as an analyst, you can take any angle. There's no problem.
Well, there's no doubt that the CPDM is outliving its time.
When we see them doing great things, look at, they have hardly lost elections.
Yes, and this is a perfect example to tell you that Cameroon youths are growing, are becoming wiser, are taking the leads in their own different respected areas and activities they carry on daily basis. Probably they have had it up to here, and they have tried to vandalize at times. It hasn't gone. And what happened with Camto, it was a spring that Cameroonians understood that the more we register, the more we stand a better chance of changing this country.
And that's an opportunity to give more time for those who have not registered.
Let me learn, Mr. Williams. So the Cameroonian youths, even the diaspora, there was a call. Even my co-panelist there, I saw him in Munya Market clamoring for people to register massively. So I doff my hands to him again for being a good citizen of the country. But if I tell you that other political parties, if I tell you that other political parties are preparing, no, the CPD itself is taking time, is gaining time to prepare, because they so acclaimed victory that they are sitting on top of it, administrating us today, did not go easily with them. So we don't need time. If I was to say where I belong, and you ask me that, are you ready to cast a vote tomorrow? I would say yes.
Yeah.
So I think it's the CPD that need more time. But if they need more time, we that are ready, anytime, any day, are also ready to give them more time. So when the political jamboree starts, let them know that we are ready.
Okay, Jomo, before I ask you how your party will have to seize the opportunity for the injury time that will be given, will surely be given, let me first of all ask this question. As an analyst, also as a politician, how will you take maybe the idea that maybe some more subdivisions will be created in Cameroon, if it has to be?
Well, the restructuring of the administrative unit of our country is it's like gossip news that have been going around. So,
do you see it politically motivated? Or?
With the Bia regime, one can never be certain of certain things. It could just be like popcorn that is thrown out there for people to fight while they are focused on building other things, just like we are talking about it here. It could just be a distraction move that has been like that. If not, the government so far is using a lot of strategy to distract Cameroonians, like announcing that they are going to reshuffle director at the head of public institution, announcing that there will be cabinet reshufflement and nothing is happening. Those are strategy. They keep us talking on things that are not really relevant. Why they keep.
But don't you think that if the country is expanding,
drafting their budget?
If the country is expanding, it is very normal.
What is the opportunity?
They create more, maybe subdivisions, maybe regions, and so on.
If you want me to tell you what this government is focused on now, it is trying to restructure itself and instead close more doors, because they are under the influence of the International Monetary Fund. They don't have a lot of largesse with money the way we seem to think. And so creating more administrative units will mean more mouth to feed. The Senate and the regional house is already there to redistribute little resources for retired civil servants that could be frustrated and expose government secrets. But now to think that this government think about new employees, no, it means that you have not studied the government well. And under the constraints of the International Monetary Fund, they started affecting but the level of public concourse, the number of recruits. Even this PhD newly recruit that has been launched, the figures 12, 1 per department, 2 per department. That's not the number we used to.
16 each
for a country that is good, for a country that is expanding in population, both of graduates and both of the people. So you should be able to read beyond what is thrown out for us to be chewing and fighting why the real issues are there. If they have postponed it based on the law, it's because they want to limit the disgrace. Yes. They want to make sure that the infight between opposition should create more divide. That even if opposition is going to win, they should win divided, in a way that the government can still come, just as they did in 1992, and buy over some opposition that are not strong but that they have believed in them. Could you believe that the UPC could sell its voice to the CPDM? It was unbelievable, but it happened. So a party like Kabwalibi party can easily sell his parliamentarian so that the CPDM should have the majority at the parliament. Why have I cited that case? It could be that case, just like it could be some other case. So please, those who are following should not make any fixation on that political party. No, okay. I have no reservation for it. So what I'm trying to say is, the time is actually used to divide the opposition. And online, they are winning. The strategy is winning. Because every day, when you go online, there is a toss, especially about some militant of the MRC that supported the Chioma, and now Chioma says he's not going in, and they say they want to catch up with the 2020 delayed train. All that gimmicks is making the social media to be hot. And now other political formation like the IRAM, the MP3, yes, are now calculating how can they benefit from that little freaks that we are having on the wall, and see how they can also penetrate the political landscape. So it's a good fight. But MRC have something that most of those political parties don't.
Yes, let's just join it with how are you preparing to take advantage of the injury time that may be given.
Of course. It's like when you invite them on a platform like this, yes, they don't count. They minimize you, the moderator. They minimize the investor of this beautiful house. They think that you want to do them, that they want to do you a favor. They will ask you for consultancy fee. Oh, when it comes to save the nature, that the nation, that is why the MRC, the people have adopted the MRC like a family. Even Pope Bertrand is not ready to tell you that he will vote, but once he enter, that ballot, I don't think
it's going to. Okay.
He will have other thoughts. This thing, it happened. Like you see, even those who say they don't believe in God, there are moments they say, "Oh God," because it's automatic. MRC, their sacrificial way of approaching life. I'm sick. but have made it a duty to come and serve the people. This is how we grow. We are liberal party. We believe that everybody who work hard deserves to live better. That is all why we are fighting the opposition, Mr. Moderator. We don't have any problem with anybody. Our only cry is that let those who are working hard to earn proportionally to their hard work. We should not have a system where meritocracy is completely absent. So MRC, I'm happy my brother said that he saw me in Munyamake. Munyamake, for those who are watching who don't know Munya, one of the most dangerous environment at the heart of the crisis. The brother went there, was calling on Cameroonians to go and register.
And that one of the
those are the kind of work that we are doing. It's not only happening here in Boya. As I talk, Yaoundé, in Douala, in Bafoussam, nationwide, we are there. People say, and this one is not a secret to your viewers, that it stands to MRC followers that Chiruma could make the kind of result that he made. And
how can you make?
I don't know how that is related, but when you go in those kind of in-house talk that people don't even want camera anywhere, that is what people are saying, and that is what can even, you know, during our last assembly here, Chiruma people were there. Even USDP, whether of ECOSO, they came around because they are thinking that this is the only fertile ground. You know, when it's a Bible that sounds like the Holy Spirit. When the Holy Spirit comes, everybody wants to come and tap. So the MRC is just like that Holy Spirit of politics in Cameroon. Everybody wants to tap.
Okay, yeah, we shall. Okay, everybody will want to tap. Paul Bertrand, we are looking at the last topic here, where we are looking at the imminent postponement of the municipal and legislative election. You see this election, if it is postponed, you see it affecting the system, maybe politically, economically, and otherwise. You see it affecting the system.
Well, in two things. For those who...
Because, you know, when politicians or Cameroonians are expecting a lot, then maybe at one time, okay, they are told that it will not be the way they are expecting. Maybe there may be some effects. So do you see any?
Two things. For those who are willing to serve,
yeah,
it may cause a form of delay.
Okay.
For those in service, they may benefit from it because they are benefiting from their salaries and other stuff like that. If my friend Siri is eager to serve and is aspiring the position of a mayor,
I didn't say that.
No,
if
okay,
yeah, I know. And maybe is an aspired councillor. Let's go by that. An aspired councillor, and he feels that by maybe May, June, by June he should be in the office, and then you realize that it is being postponed. It is going to affect him and his party in that circumstance. Whereas
maybe the budget,
and not the budget does not really play. But now the active parliament, the municipal councillors and parliamentary seats, those who are occupying them will be comfortable that at least probably will have been kicked out in this month of May or in the month of June. But because of the postponement, I still have to, you know, honor this title of a municipal councillor or a parliamentary or a parliamentarian. So that is just what it plays. But I don't see it affecting the economy much. It affects the political actors who are ready to move the country in their own shape and aspect, the manifestos they have for the people. And until they bring it, the current state of government still rules with its own manifesto. So it is just a shift from one manifesto to another that causes the economic change, but the political change remains, and everybody is fighting from their own camps until you are giving the front line, until you take the front line before you can now effect change on the economy.
Okay, let me just, it's unfortunate viewers that the legal minds we invited here, they could not make it. But let me just ask you this question I prepared for them, whether you could attempt it. Now, do you see this election be postponed? It's like the president is going out of the legality given him if it is postponed again for maybe above the maybe 18-month given.
It is clear now, Williams. This thing is just literature right now. He has the presidential, his office gives you the authority to postpone for 18 months.
Yeah.
And after 18 months, it is the normal that will go in for election. But there's also a clause that states that crisis under some circumstances.
Yes.
Let me come under some circumstances like let's look at it, maybe
Yes.
the state is facing some kind of internal conflicts.
Yes.
The financial stability is not there. I think it gives him that extension, but I think he has to talk with them. He has to tie. He has to lace. He has to lace with the parliament and the Bureau of Senate before coming out with such such
view, you see that it's not bad.
Cameroon is a rich country, if you ask me, and if we keep creating posts and positions and keep feeding people with salaries in huge sum, outstation allowance, you see some people, there came a point in time where a certain group of ministers were dispatched to Kumba. They went there, they not finished their mission. They came back to Yaoundé, they were dispatched again. So if we have this money to spend, why don't we have money for the elections? I think that the election should go in duly, because this is the time that Cameroonian youth in particular, as we are talking about the youth, they are ready to act and enact change on this country now that we are still youth.
Okay, maybe by the time I come back to you, we shall be concluding the program. You, like a politician, do you see it affecting you people a lot, the party, and do you think that it will be like the presidency have violated the constitution?
Mr. Bia is still within his prerogatives, but if it was to talk about violation, taking a term of office that he did not win, that was the highest violation that he could ever do to this country.
No, if you say he did not
So
win,
when you want to force his legitimacy on
the
us,
Constitutional
we are forced to resist.
legally he won.
You can always carry this voice up. I understand the role you are playing, but you should also understand my own role, that
No, we are trying
like
to win
somebody-
legality.
of
It is
course
said that he won, or
it
the
is said,
party
it
won
is said
the
right
election.
by a house whose member are
The
contested.
legal house.
By whose member are contested, because the law says that the members are not supposed to be part of a political party. And 3 months before the presidential election, we had the president of the Constitutional Council, Mr. Clement Tangana, taking part in a motion of support meeting where a letter was drafted and signed and his name was there. So please, when you want to force the legitimacy of Mr. Bia on us, we will be forced to resist by reminding you what the law actually says. But now come back to your question about how does all this influence us. We are in a regret to tell you that electoral calendar is supposed to be jointly adopted in a country where the opposition have a status. In other countries, take for example Senegal, there is a ministry for opposition that gives you the possibility to be denouncing excesses of the state in a more organized and structured manner, in such a way that abuses are limited. But in Cameroon,
we have the Ministry of the Administration.
Yeah, there's supposed to be a department that actually protects opposition and make them feel that they are playing a role to have a balance, because there are 3 pillars of democracy: the rule of law, the freedom, and a transparent and fair election, freedom of speech and other, then transparent and fair election. Without these 3, we are not in democracy. And who is best placed to pilot or to administer these three, people who aspire to take your position.
Okay.
So that's why in a country where the opposition have a status, a calendar of election is jointly drafted by the ruling power and the opposition to permit that when the day comes, it is the institutions that are there that are well placed to say whether the conditions are united for election to take place or not a single man. On the 25th of February, what was stopping Mr. Biya to organize election? They brought their legacy that to host 2 elections a year is very difficult. Postponed. Taking it to 2026 now, what is stopping them to organize election? They set date. They said that treasury issue. Months ago, they were organizing regional election who had no, that one could be prorogated as well. They did same with senatorial election. We call that political calculation, which is normal because in politics it's also to grip power and also maintain it. Mm-hmm. So within those wins and caprices, we should be able to tell the ruling regime that if you keep a dog hungry for too long, he might tend to
attack you.
No, you are using the word. He might just tend to recognize you.
So who now has
so though he have the yam and the knife, he should not forget that we are talking about democracy.
Okay.
That if you overstretch those with whom you are working, it might tend to be counterproductive to you as a leader. So you must always make it look fair and transparent, just as the foundation of democracy require. You cannot do otherwise. And don't forget that we have international donors that also have indicators, governance indicators, to know how they can support our government with financing some of our mega projects. So it's not like you can do anyhow. Yes, it's penalizing us because all this meeting we are holding here and there is on personal budget. This mobilization we do on the field are on personal budget. They are not directly targeting elections. But election could come like one of the fallout. Should you say that when it's time to go and harvest corn, people who planted corn should not harvest?
No, they do.
They need to go and harvest. So why should somebody, instead of harvesting corn in June, he's saying that we must harvest but in August? Those who have been planting since March, is that not overdue for them? So trying to make things that are natural, that are cyclical, are systematic, are supposed to be systematic, overweigh on a particular season might sometimes be counterproductive. And that is how the Anglophone crisis came about. You think the Anglophone Cameroonians don't know that they need to pass through election to have power? But they saw that everything was stifled. And they said that let us try other measures. And 10 years down the lane, some journalists want to force it to our throat. That peace have come back. And we keep telling them that. We look at them also and tell them, no, he has not totally come back.
Bertrand, maybe your last word on these 2 topics that we have been discussing. We started with the first one. We were cross-viewing the Youth Day celebrations across Cameroon, especially in Boya. Then the second topic, we have been cross-viewing on imminent postponement of the municipal and legislative election. So your last word on this topic.
Well, when I move around, I see tell people Happy Youth Week. It's a Youth Week, and whether we're outliving our youthfulness, we still look behind and say, "Oh, I wish," but we're not covered when we're there. So again, like I earlier said, and there's something that factor in when I was saying President Biya also said there will be some reduction in taxes.
Yes.
Cameroonians.
In order to empower the youth.
In order to empower the youth. But he has always, when I became matured, I started listening to his
speeches.
speeches, he has always used that that phrase. That one has always been there. But now down there, when we say decentralization, the way it is being,
is it like
it is
all
the way
these
it is
have
being
always been
applied.
done?
The application methods.
Okay.
The application method does not tie well. You see, if I read well within the lines, he said Cameroonians who are employing any entrepreneur who can employ 5 to 50 Cameroonians who have some tax reduction, and you see it doesn't still work. It doesn't still work because you find our council guys, they see go lock people's store. They don't ask how many people do you have. Even one, it's not easy to fit somebody who is working under you. Though they say it is his due that you are paying.
Okay.
Exchange of service, exchange of energy to raw cash. It is his benefit, but it is not still easy to manage a set of Cameroon. That's what I wanted to say. And the second thing I really want to beg Mr. Bia is that when he gives out instruction, he should follow it. Though it is coming a little bit too late because of his age, and over time that has also been his weakness, because follow up in this country on contracts and other administrative duty areas have been falling apart because of lack of follow up. I remember one time when they reminded him that people are embezzling in this country, he used the word "usongle proof." So the second thing I want to also say is one cannot do it all.
Okay.
He has taken Cameroon to where it was supposed to be its limit.
Okay.
And I also believe that at this stage, if he's quitting the stage, some Cameroonians having a heart, some will give an applause you are forcing me to use, but I don't think all will, because it is also incomparative that when you stay on the stage too long, by the time you are leaving, people will be tired and exhausted to clap for you.
Okay. Jomo, your last words.
Well, on our first topic, we regret that the people who said they want to eat with the devil have finally taken the devil trick, saying their own children watered down in a celebration they were supposed to be commemorating valiant Cameroonians who voted for the plebiscite for the southern Cameroon and the north and the western Cameroon to come together in 1961. And today, the youth have remained a slogan in the mouth of those who are supposed to prepare a destiny for them, including their own guidance. And as for the second topic, we were just reminding Mr. Bia that in democracy, you might overdone and both. You might overplay and almost play your own team. So then for those who still believe in this system and all the promises, so somebody just mentioned about the tax reduction, I just smiled because just this week I was coming from Bafusam. I was having one of these categories. I was having one of the paper. When I went and spent more than 400,000 just to transfer ownership of the car, and they, instead of giving me an attestation, they gave me a receipt. And police people are just waiting for, once you remove it and they see the receipt, they just start smiling. They pretend as if they have some other thing. Once they take your document, they say follow me, and you will see other foreigners will come and show the same document based on the way you are dressed, based on the title on your ID card. They treated me like an outcast. I had to be spending money from every checkpoint, about 10,000, 5,000, based on. So this is what makes Cameroonians to be frustrated. You finally ask yourself that civil servant, you have a salary. You are put to serve Cameroonians. You are supposed to help the government to look better, but you are the one destroying the government. So finally, we don't even understand where to put the aid. So when Mr. Bia make all these promises, we just tell ourselves, Papa, your own don't do. I beg,
Paul Bertrand, thank you so very much for coming. Paul Bertrand, thank you so very much for coming.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Thank you to Royal TV. You have a beautiful studio. You have a beautiful moderator, and I'm pleased to be here. And I wish I have the time and the energy to come again. Thank you, Mr. Williams.
We pray you always have the time and the energy, because we have no other country than this one, and so we have to contribute for the building of this country. Thank you so very much for coming, Jomo.
Thank you so much, Mr. Moderator. Thanks to Paul Bertrand. Thanks to our technician. Thanks to you viewers who sacrifice the time. I must say we should take care of the future, for tomorrow have a lot of revelation.
We should take care of the future, for tomorrow has a lot of revelation. He's just concurring with the President of the Republic. We say we should keep on hoping that things will be better. Dear viewers, we want to thank you so very much for being there. It has been Paul Bertrand and Jomo Cyril and the technical bench who have been working tirelessly since in the morning. It is just to tell you that the house is a house where anybody who is here sacrifices a lot. We want to thank them so very much, and thank you who has been seated there for this program. I've been moderator Mwambo William. See you for another program tomorrow.
Hey, Royal TV viewers, your voice matters.
Merci
and now
beaucoup.
we want to hear it louder than ever. We've created a special WhatsApp feedback group just for you. Got opinions about our shows? Suggestions to make Royal TV better? Compliments, complaints, or hot takes? This is your direct line to us. Joining is easy. Simply scan the QR code on your screen right now and you're instantly connected to the Royal TV community. Be part of the conversation. Influence our programs. Help shape the future of your favorite TV station. Don't just watch. Interact, engage, be heard. Scan the code and join the Royal TV WhatsApp group now. When we dream alone, it is only a dream. But when many dream together, it is the beginning of a new reality.